as Consuls General, Ms. Jane Jepkorir Toroitich. Order. Order.
4 of 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
To the authority circular on the enforcement of compliance with mandatory use of electronic government procurement system, EGPS, by all public procuring entities in contravention of Section 77 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, CAF 112C, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 19th August 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 18 of the Statutory Instruments Act, CAP 2, this House annulls in its entirety the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority circular in the enforcement of compliance with the mandatory use of the electronic government procurement system, EGPS, by all public procuring entities, circular number 04 of 2025. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, members. How do you expect your speaker to put a question on a notice of motion? Honorable members, I know that is with a light touch. As we go to order, members, as we go to order number 7, I want to direct as follows in rearranging our order paper. The Honorable Murugara, Chair of Delegated Legislation, JLAC, sorry, is as requested to make a statement in relation to some issues that you discussed yesterday. Order. Order. After I allowed the Honorable Murugara to make his statement, the Honorable Wandeto approached me and wanted to move a motion of adjournment, but looking at the content of the motion and the statement of Murugara, they look tautologous. So I have advised Honorable Wandeto that he will join on to Honorable Murugara's statement, and once Honorable Murugara makes his statement, I'll allow the House to ventilate on the same. I'll give you the necessary time. In my reflection, 1.5 hours will do. Order. 1.5 hours will do. So we'll proceed as follows. We'll dispose of order number 8, dispose of order number 9, which is very simple and direct, dispose of order number 10 being first reading. When we finish with the statements, we will dispose of order 12 before we go to committee at order number 11. I hope we are clear with that. Thank you. So, clerk, go to orders number 8, 9, and 10 on the supplementary order paper.
Order number 8, the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendments Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2024, second reading and question to be put.
Honorable members, order. I'll now put the question at order number 8 that the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2024 be now read a second time. As many as of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act Cap 79C and for connected purposes. Order number 9.
Before you go to order number 9, members, allow me to acknowledge the following in the speaker's gallery. Joel Amimo School from Kisumu Central, Kisumu. Kipkeino Junior School from Tarbo was in Gishu. In the public gallery, Members, you should welcome these children to the House of Parliament. In the public gallery, we have Hale Mariting School from Jomvu, Mombasa, Athi Kamunyuni School from Kibwezi East, Makueni, and Kaptebeswet Secondary School from Aina Moi, Kericho. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next.
Order number 9, motion, alteration of the calendar of the House.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 13 February 2025 and 7 August 2025 and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 28.4 on calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar. 1, so as to commence a long recess on Wednesday 20th August 2025, that is tomorrow, and end it on Monday 22nd September 2025. And 2, to resume regular sittings on Tuesday 23rd September 2025 to commence the third part of the session. Honorable Speaker, this is a simple procedural motion, not a procedural motion, but a motion to alter the calendar. As members are aware, we were to proceed on our recess at the end of last week, but we extended the sittings to this week. And Honorable Speaker, we will need to recover the time for the recess, this being a short working recess, and therefore we are just extending the recess by a further 1 week. Instead of resuming on the 15th of September, we now resume on the 16th of September, we resume on the 23rd of September. And with that, I beg to move and request the Leader of Minority, who is also a member of the House Business Committee, where this matter was deliberated, to second.
Junet.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I now propose the question at order number 9, which is that notwithstanding the resolutions of the House of 13th February 2025 and 7th August 2025, and pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 28.4 calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar. 1, so as to commence the long recess on Wednesday 20th August 2025 and end it on Monday 22nd September 2025, and 2, resume regular sittings on Tuesday 23rd September 2025 to commence the third part of the session. We put the question, and now put the question at order number 9, which is that notwithstanding the resolutions of the House of 13th February 2025 and 7th August 2025, and pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 28.4 calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter the calendar so as to commence the long recess on Wednesday 20th August 2025 and end it on Monday 22nd September 2025, and resume the regular sittings on Tuesday 23rd September 2025 to commence the third part of the session. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
Order number 10, the Advocates Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Advocates Act. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Let me start with Dan Wanyama. Dan Wanyama is making a statement in relation to the ongoing CHAN football tournament. Anybody who wants to joyride on that, you can join that fray in the Murugara statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to make a statement on the co-hosting of the African Nations Championship, CHAN 2024, and the performance of Harambee Stars. Honorable Speaker, I rise to make a statement on behalf of the Departmental Committee on Sports and Culture on two matters of national importance. Firstly, the successes of Kenya's co-hosting of African Nations Championship CHAN 2024 thus far, and secondly, the remarkable achievement of our national football team, Harambee Stars, in reaching the quarterfinals of the said tournament. Honorable Speaker, as this House may be aware, Kenya, together with Uganda and Tanzania, were granted the prestigious opportunity on co-hosting the 2024 edition of the African Nations Championship CHAN by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. This tournament presents an important platform not only to showcase our sporting talent, but also to demonstrate our ability to host continental events of this magnitude. The Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports ensured that the stadiums met the international standards required to host a tournament of this magnitude, and that this is a great development of our sporting infrastructure. The Committee on Sports also performed its oversight role by engaging the ministry from as far back as 2023 on the status of Kenya's preparedness to host this great tournament. Honorable Speaker, despite our success in co-hosting the tournament, we have indeed suffered a few setbacks. The House will recall that on 10th August at Kasarani Stadium, challenges of crowd control and the ticketing breakdown posed a serious threat to the tournament. The situation resulted in sanctions imposed by Confederation of African Football, that's CAF, guided the advice from the committee to the local organizing committee, that is LOC, and the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports. Innovative fan zones were introduced outside the stadium to absorb excess crowds, while government enhanced security measures within and around the venues. This initiative has been highly successful in congesting Kasarani, safeguarding funds, and ensuring compliance with CAF standards, thereby averting additional sanctions and enhancing Kenya's reputation as a capable host. The committee will continue to work with the ministry to ensure that the remaining matches are held in strict compliance with the standards required by the Confederation. Honorable Speaker, permit me to now talk about the performance of national football team, the Harambee Stars. The national team has shown commendable spirit, discipline, and determination. This House will recall that Harambee Stars defeated the Democratic Republic of Congo, overpowered Morocco, held Angola to a draw, and most recently outclassed Zambia. This has resulted in Harambee Stars emerging as the group leaders with the 10 points, thereby earning their place in the quarterfinals against Madagascar. The quarterfinals game is scheduled for Friday, 22nd against August at 5 p.m. at Kasarani Stadium. It is worth mentioning that the great work that national coach Benny McCarthy is putting in with his team, we commend him for the tactical skills that continues to impact to the national team. And we believe that he has what it takes to steer the team to victory through the quarters, semi-finals, and eventually the finals. Honorable Speaker, indeed, talent is not the challenge in Kenya across sporting disciplines. We have an abundance of talent beyond planning. This administration is determined to actualize the Talanda Hela initiative. The committee will continue to work with the Ministry of Sports and all relevant stakeholders to ensure that any legislative interventions necessary to actualize this great initiative will be undertaken by this Honorable House. With the stadia renovations and the building of Talanda Stadium and the sports academies being constructed across the nation, the future is bright and the strategic direction shall bear fruit very soon. Indeed, we have demonstrated our ability to host international tournaments, and the infrastructure shall be available long after CHAN. We can start aspiring for the Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, and for other sporting events as well. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank His Excellency, the President, for motivation that he has accorded to the national football team. The actions by His Excellency, the President, to reward the players is a great testament to the need to monetize talent, which is a key pillar of the Talent Hela initiative. This will go a long way in motivating players to be the best that they can be, and will also ensure that they give the results of their hard work and in discipline. Honorable Speaker, I am indeed grateful for the continued support of your office and the office of the clerk in facilitating the Committee on Sports and Culture to execute its oversight mandate on matter sports within the country. Indeed, the committee has traveled to various parts of this country to conduct inspection visits over the renovations and construction of stadia. Further, the committee has held several engagements with the Football Kenya Federation and other stakeholders to deliberate on the future of sports in this country. We have set the standards as high as we could. It can only get better with the more cooperation within federations, with government, with partners, and the sports persons who are most integral in the grand scheme of things. Honorable Speaker, the committee wishes to thank all honorable members and all Kenyans who have come out to support Harambee Stars and sports in general. I also extend gratitude on behalf of all the teams and sports persons who continue to fly our flag and make our anthem to be played in international podiums. We shall continue the journey and mark the milestone. Kenya stands at a pivotal moment in the football journey. Co-hosting CHAN 2024 is not just a sporting event. It is a national project that carries economic, diplomatic, and cultural significance. The Harambee Stars, as our ambassadors, deserve our unwavering support. As I conclude, allow me to commend the Malkia Stars Under-20 team that won the African Under-20 Championship in Cameroon by beating the host nation 3-1. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. I've been requested to give an opportunity to Honorable Otiende Amolo as the captain of the Bunge football team to complement that statement. Honorable Otiende Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me thank Honorable Dan Wanyama and the Sports Committee. On behalf of the Bunge football team, a couple of whose members are here, I see Jack Wanami, Kaikai, Maungu, Mogaka, and a host. Oh yes, and Yesu himself. Well, that's a different team. I was talking about the male one because you. Anyway, I have a very short time, so let me finish this. I want to congratulate the Harambee Stars because even the Harambee Stars comprises only of men. So there's the women's football and men's football, and it's not discriminating. It's just that there's each with their own line. Mr. Speaker, I am happier to give these congratulations, unlike matters I will be speaking to later that have brought me much sadness. But on this, I am very happy to congratulate first the players. Secondly, the technical team. Thirdly, the federation itself. Number four, the Kenyans themselves. And not just Kenyans, East Africans. Number five, the president, but also ourselves. I will explain. First of all, Mr. Speaker, let me thank the members. Many do not know that when Harambee Stars were preparing in their final 2 and 3 days, we as Bunge FC mobilized ourselves to just go and encourage them where they were training at the Police Sacco Stadium. And you'd be surprised how encouraged the boys were, some of them from some constituencies that we come in, some from elsewhere, and they were just happy to shake hands, to play around with the ball, and we hope that that was helpful. Many also do not know that this idea of giving a token to the boys started with this August house. We were able to raise 1 million shillings, and we took to the boys as we were training with them. People might think this is small money, but if you remember, these are boys who play locally, non-internationally. Those encouragements are very good. So the president was riding on our back when he upped it to 1 million, now to 2 million, and elsewhere. We set the pace. But lastly, Mr. Speaker, I want us to be conscious of the fact that we are co-hosting. It's not just Kenya. Tanzania is co-hosting, Uganda is co-hosting, and the good news is that each of our countries have qualified for the quarters. And that is unprecedented. So let us encourage ourselves as East African. If we meet against each other, we play like East Africans. We do not play with any annoyance. Yesterday when we watched the thrilling game between Uganda and South Africa, those who love football will agree that's one of the most tantalizing games you'll ever see, where 6 minutes means a lot. I just want to encourage Kenyans to continue supporting the Stars. Continue, if you have the ticket, to come to the to the stadium. If unfortunately you don't have the ticket, go to any of the visual points that have been set up, or watch it at home. Thank you. Go the Stars.
Thank you, honorable members. Those who never watch football, yesterday, 6 minutes to time, Uganda was down 3-1 against South Africa. And in 6 minutes, they rallied their strength and scored twice to draw and qualify. Honorable members, this CHAN has reignited our spirit of football. Those who watched football in the early years can remember the phenomenal team of Mohamed Abbas, Hussein Heri, John Bobby Okola, Josephat Murila, Ambrose Ayoyi, Wilberforce Mulamba, JJ Masiga, Onyango Jogo, and many others who made this country proud. Will you? Who? Lelmengit, you are too young to remember those good old days. So, honorable members, you may do your foot thumping to support Harambee Stars for their next encounter. Of course, the minority leader is reminding me rather joyfully that Arsenal beat Man U. Yes, Millie. Yes, Millie. Millie, what is it?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a Man U fan, I cannot be in this house when the minority leader is trying to cast aspersions on the great team. When we sympathize with the small teams like Arsenal that my husband supports, small teams, Those are useless teams. But Mr. Speaker, I hope my husband is not watching this one.
Order, honorable members. Order. Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, if you watch the game between Arsenal and Man U on Sunday,
I did.
you can only pity them because, Mr. Speaker, Man U was playing like Rosinga Island Football Club.
Order, honorable members, we leave it there. Yes, Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on that list which you have just mentioned,
Yes.
in 1987, Honorable Speaker, the captain, Austin Oduor, helped to take the cup for Kenya, Honorable Speaker. So you
Yes.
cannot mention without listing.
I didn't mention all of them, but I know all of them. It was fantastic. Honorable members, can we leave football there? Yes, Farah. I have never known you to watch football.
Mr. Speaker, this is an August house. This is a house of leaders. The young boys and girls this side and this side in the nation are watching us. Instead of celebrating our own, why do you have to celebrate a team somewhere else in the farthest part of the
Farah,
world?
you are out of order. Order. You are out of order.
Talking about
Order, Farah. Order, Honorable Farah. Order.
we are doomed with this.
Honorable Farah, you are out of order. In fact, Arsenal is Arsenal because of our African boys like Nwango Kanu, Ebue,
Why don't they come here?
and many others. Yes, Saka, right now, Bukayo Saka. So you're out of order. Honorable members, let's go to, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery, Gakuru Primary School from Tharakanithi, and Sally Ann School from Bureti, Kericho. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Let's go now to Honorable Murugara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are just from a light moment, but this is not very light now, as it touches on very serious matters that are before the House. Honorable Speaker, this is a statement on allegations of inducement in the consideration and passage of a bill. Honorable Speaker, this statement is made on behalf of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and its members with regard to statements made during the joint Kenya Kwanza ODM Parliamentary Group meeting held yesterday, 18th August 2025, that was presided over by His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. At the meeting, a statement was made to the effect that the consideration and passage of the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill 2025 was influenced by a Kenya shillings 10 million inducement collected by a member of parliament or members of parliament allegedly on behalf of members of the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill 2025 was a bill sponsored by the leader of Majority Party. It was read for the first time in the House on the 4th of March 2025 and thereafter committed to the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs for consideration and reporting to the House. The committee duly conducted public participation, considered the bill, and tabled a report in the House to inform the House's second reading of the bill. The bill sought to amend 10 acts of Parliament to address technical compliance deficiencies identified by the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group, the Financial Action Task Force, in Kenya's regime on anti-money laundering, combating of terrorism, financing, and the combating of proliferation of financing. The record of the House reflects that after exhaustive debate, the bill and the amendments proposed by the committee were wholly supported, leading to its passage on Wednesday, 16th April 2025 with amendments. Following its referral by the President with reservations on the term of the Office of the Director General of the Financial Reporting Center, the bill was passed by the National Assembly on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025, with amendments fully accommodating the President's reservations. On behalf of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, I wish to categorically state that the committee did not solicit and did not receive any inducement of any kind whatsoever from any member or quarter in its consideration of the anti-money laundering and the combating of terrorism financing laws, Bill 2025, as alleged or at all. The Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and its members are fully cognizant of the principles of leadership, ethics, and integrity which bind the members of Parliament. The committee and the members condemn and abhor corruption and any practice that is likely to erode these principles that are the substratum of the public trust that the people of Kenya have entrusted on this institution of the House of Parliament. Having deliberated over the matter and considering that the bill in question was a government bill whose contents were supported by the House, the committee poses the following 4 questions. Number 1, which member or members of the National Assembly solicited and or received the said Kenya shillings 10 million on the, or any other inducement in relation to the consideration and the passage of the bill? Number 2, who gave the alleged inducement? Number 3, what was the purpose of the inducement? And number 4, have the allegations been reported to the relevant law enforcement agencies? The committee notes that any inducement with respect to the bill could only have been given by to persons opposed to the strengthening of the laws against anti-money laundering, terrorism, financing, and related offenses. Only a person or entity that engages in corrupt practices, or wash, as is popularly known, could have opposed the passage of the bill. The fact that the committee recommended the passage of the bill and ensured its enactment into an act of parliament that is now in force speaks for itself. For avoidance of doubt, the position of the committee and its members is that if any member of the National Assembly or any other individual solicited and or received any inducement with respect to the consideration and passage of the bill as alleged, the member or individual is a criminal. Such a person ought to be investigated by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission or the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, or even the committee of this House charged with the responsibility on such matters, prosecuted, and if found capable to face the force of the law to the fullest. Such conduct has no place in the discharge of the mandate of the National Assembly and in the society of Kenya as a whole. The committee urges any person with information against any member of the National Assembly or any other individual with respect to the allegations to submit the information to the Parliamentary Powers and the Privileges Committee, which has always risen to the occasion and has jealously protected the integrity of the House and the members. Needless to add that the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee is one of the busiest committees in this house. It is only rivaled by the Finance Committee. These two being the busiest have always and will always resist any temptation, any advances that are made to induce the committees with the finances or any other form of material inducement, because the dignity of this house must be maintained at all times. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay my statement. Thank you very much. Before I sit, Honorable Speaker, before I sit, allow me kindly to read one article from the Constitution. This is extremely important, and members to listen, because you'll be commenting on this. This is Article 96 of our Constitution. It is on the role of the Senate in the Republic of Kenya. Number one, the role of the Senate represents the counties and serves to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Number two, the Senate participates in the lawmaking function of Parliament by considering, debating, and approving bills concerning counties as provided by Articles 109 to 113 of the Constitution. The most important is at sub-Article 3. The Senate determines the allocation of national revenue amongst counties as provided in Article 217 and exercises oversight over national revenue allocated to the county governments. So, emphasis is on sub-Article 3 on oversight. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Member Morugara. I promise to give Honorable Wandeto. Is he in the House? Honorable Wandeto, on the basis that he had a motion of adjournment, which was to talk us to the statement by Honorable Morugara, and I discussed with him and told him I'll give him the first shot. Members, you must also remember the provisions of Standing Order 87 on matters of contents of speech, so take into account that. Wandeto?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As you have correctly said, I had brought before you a motion of adjournment to debate this otherwise very
As Wandeto
serious.
takes the floor, how much time can I give everybody?
5 minutes.
5 is... I have 1.5 hours for this. Can we do 3 minutes? With your leaders taking 5. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Like you have said, I had brought a petition to you. Mr. Speaker, you need to protect me.
Yes, give Wandeto an opportunity. Wandeto, you have 3 minutes to compose your...
Yes, thank you. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to start by saying that this House, the House of Parliament, is a temple of democracy in this country. This is where the will of the people is exercised in accordance with Article 95 of our Constitution. And so whenever there are allegations of the nature that has been made in the last 2 weeks, Mr. Speaker, it is a matter of grave national concern, and that is why you have done the right thing to stop all other business of the House to ensure that members are able to ventilate into the otherwise very serious allegations that have been brought against this House. Mr. Speaker, I am very committed to the principles in the Constitution of integrity, transparency, and good governance. And Mr. Speaker, what we have seen the last 2 weeks is worrying. It started, I think, 2 weeks ago with an allegation by a senior member of the executive that there is indeed allegations of bribery within Parliament. I was at the devolution conference last week in Homa Bay, and none other than His Excellency, repeated the same. The following day, the Prime Minister repeated the same, that there is a lot of bribery and corruption going on in this House. Mr. Speaker, to take you back to the events of 2024, these members of Parliament were nearly killed in this House as they defended democracy and the rule of law. Mr. Speaker, after that, there were some allegations that money had changed hands. I think there was a figure of 2 million that time. And members, some of them even lost their property. Their houses were burnt. Others lost livestock and other things. So, Mr. Speaker, an allegation of bribery against a member, especially the figures that are being touted, even makes it, we feel endangered as you walk the streets. People, first of all, imagine you are some 10 million or some 150 million, and others possibly think you are the worst enemy of the people. Mr. Speaker, you know we have been called MPs. We have been called all manner of names. So as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge you, as the leader of this House, to do whatever it can, Mr. Speaker, to defend the integrity of this House. And Mr. Speaker, we must first of all, and if you allow me, since I had a substantive motion, Mr. Speaker, add me only 2 minutes so that I finish. Mr. Speaker, it is important that you lead us to restore the dignity of this House. And there are certain things that we must stop doing. First of all, we have what I would call an unholy dalliance with the executive. That must.
Give him a minute. Give him.
Mr. Speaker, this House has to stop being a choir for the executive. Mr. Speaker, this week we have also seen a lot of attack on CDF and an attack on Constituency Roads Fund by the same executive whom we have helped here with very difficult decisions. And now, I think, Mr. Speaker, the chickens have come to roost. Mr. Speaker, I invite the members of the executive to read Matthew chapter 7, verses 3 to 5. We know corruption is a big issue in this country, but the Bible reminds us, while look at the speck of sawdust in your neighbor, where you yourself, you have a log inside your eye. Mr. Speaker, as I finish, it appears some people are falling, but we will not allow them to fall with the whole House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Otienda Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will beg that I be added 2 minutes for context as a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Mr. Speaker, first of all, let it be clear, I am a member of the committee. I have never sought or received any gain or advantage to support or oppose anything, except as by law and my conscience and my constituents. Mr. Speaker, the simple sequence of that long statement read by my chair is that this was a government bill sponsored by the Executive Office of the President. And we were told that we needed to pass it to remove Kenya from the grey list. In compliance, and it was signed off by the leader of the majority, we complied, it came here, it passed. Where is our fault? Should we have rejected it? Because if we did, then you can blame us. Mr. Speaker, if that passage of the act and the amendment was procured by any corruption, then that corruption can only come from the Executive Office of the President. Because they are the ones who wanted it to pass. And if that is so, then 3 things follow. 1, that either the President or someone in his office knows who gave the bribe. 2, the President or someone in his office knows who received that bribe. And 3, they know why it was given, because obviously it could not have been for passage. It's even more annoying that it is alleged that some 10 million was given. Do you know 10 million to give the members, that's 28,000. So it's being alleged that members of this House are cheap as 28,000 to pass a law. It's even more annoying. Mr. Speaker, some of us have reputations and careers beyond this House. So when you attend a forum where for the first time in a PG, live TV has been invited, and then you are being accused of that kind of thing, it is so insulting, it is so demeaning, it is so unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. that even if there was such a supposition by the president, Standing Order 42 gives him the opportunity to write to you a special message, which then you can table and we can inquire into it, not to be paraded and demeaned as if we are criminals. Now, the way forward, Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest that our only way forward, you see, in this house, we cannot discuss people adversely because Standing Order 83 all the way to 107 restrict our discussion. But for us, unfortunately, no one protects us out there. All sorts of allegations are made against you and you must just sit and listen. Our only ventilation is Standing Order 191. I want to suggest, Mr. Speaker, that under Standing Order 191, where we have our Powers and Privileges Committee, the Powers and Privileges Committee, 191(1)(a), is allowed to summon any person to appear before it for the purposes of giving evidence or providing information. This house has been called the house of extortion. This house has been called a corrupt house. This house has been alleged to have received some 10 million. My suggestion, Mr. Speaker, authorize the Powers and Privileges Committee to summon the president, or if not the president, then the head of public service and the secretary to the cabinet to come and tell us about these allegations, because we don't know how to protect ourselves out there. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Dr. Bukose.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for allowing me to contribute to the statement.
Remember,
by the
you
leader,
have 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
By the chair, AJAABU. Honorable Speaker, it is a very embarrassing situation when the head of state stands and accuses this house, and specifically referring to the committee. It's not acceptable. I think, and if there was any issue, should have been able to have us as members of parliament and discuss this issue. To me, I suppose that most likely the head of state might have been lied by whoever took the information to him that that person took 10 million to the AJAABU. Yeah.
Those are his views. Just listen to each other.
If 10 million was given, then the person who gave the 10 million must state very clearly whom did he give the 10 million. Yeah? That person must state very clearly, because it seems that person should be able to account for the 10 million. Where did you take the 10 million? Yeah? And most likely, and to who? Because when the bill came to the House and it was presented by AJAABU, we were told this is one of the requirements and a precondition for IMF. And we passed. So, to be accused later on of having taken money, and it seems money exchanged hands, the 10 million must have changed hands. So where did that 10 million come from, and where did it go? And why? Because any bill that comes here and is a government bill is sponsored by majority, and more often, because we are now have a partisan kind of agreement within this house, under the broad-based government, we've always supported all the bills that the government brings. Therefore, this must be investigated and the truth must be unearthed so that all of us can be cleaned. Because when we go out there, people are looking at us as thieves, as extortionists, and that is not right. We have reputations to protect, we have families to look at us, and we have friends who should not be suspicious of our activities. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, wajua fisi akitaka kumla mwanawe usema ananuka mbuzi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, inasikitisha sana. Bunge hili ndio limeshika Kenya kwa mkono, Mheshimiwa Spika. tumepitisha bills nyingi sana zao, hata hii ya money laundering mimi nilikuwa against, kwa sababu najua kuna watu ambao wamekuwa targeted, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambao ni wa real estate, na hatukuwahi kufuatwa na mtu yoyote kuhongwa chochote, Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini ilipita hapa bila chochote. Kwanza katika wabunge mimi ni maskini sana, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu hata pesa ya ngafu ni kidogo, haitoshi paka natoa mshahara wangu napatia wananchi huko na baki bure. Sasa ikiwa hapa tunaweza kuambiwa kuwa wabunge wamepewa milioni 10, tunataka kujua nani alimpa, makusudi yake ni kitu gani, alimpa kwa nini, na hii bili ina siri gani kubwa mpaka itolewe 10 million, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi Mheshimiwa Spika nataka kusema sasa hili bunge tutatoa majembe yetu store, turegeshe kama tulivyokuwa pale mwanzo, ndio sauti zetu zitasikika, Mheshimiwa Spika. Haiwezekani wabunge wanahangaika, wanateseka, hawana pesa, alafu hata hii mambo ya CDF mimi sijui kwa nini hapa tuliwapa county government 485 billion, Mheshimiwa Spika. Sijui kwa nini haiwatoshi, wanakimbilia 54 billion ya hili bunge, Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati hatuoni kazi zao kule mashinani. Sisi tunasema bunge hili litasimama, na ikibidi wanataka tutoe devolution, basi tutaitoa devolution ibaki kama ilivyokuwa zamani, kwa sababu wanabunge hawezi kuwanyanyaswa kiasi hichi, Mheshimiwa Spika, mpaka kwenye televisheni wanaitwa wezi, wanaitwa extortionist, wakati ambapo mimi mama Mombasa najiangalia sina chochote, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hata ukienda kuangalia account zangu wenyewe watashangaa. Leo Mombasa nikaambiwe mama Zamzam, nyinyi ndio mmeiba pesa, nyinyi ndio extortionist, nyinyi ndio nini. Siwezi kubali, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kama mtu anataka kwenda chini na sisi, mimi nitaenda naye chini. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Musa Serma. Order. Musa Serma.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I want to really support the sentiments of Honorable Murugara on this issue, where we are being portrayed as a parliament of extortionists and people who take bribe. Mr. Speaker, people who are corrupt have a place to go in this country, and that is the court. And if there is anybody who has been known to have done those things, we want to tell the government to pick those people, take them to court, and